Hello everybody, Migs from MigsTCG here, joined by a special guest today, Arceus, the god of Pokemon. He will be overseeing this deck list that I'm about to bring you. For those of you who are barely finding this channel, welcome in. For those of you coming back, it's good to see you again, my friend. Without further ado, why don't we get started? So today I've been wanting to bring a playlist or a deck list to this channel, mostly because it's something that I've been playing. I find myself playing it on TCG Live online. I really like this deck. It's very fun. It's not super competitive. It has had some tops here and there, like top 8. Never really top 4, but it's a really good deck. And nevertheless, it's fun. And I feel like that's what Pokemon is at the end of the day. It's fun. Play something unexpected. Don't just be a meta sheep. But that's just my point of view. You can do whatever you want. Remember, we all have fun in different ways. This deck is an electric deck, of course. And as such, I run 14 electric energies. Why 14? I will explain that later, but it's all 14 electric energies. I like the gray ones with the new borders. I wish they had a better design. It looks kind of basic, but it is what it is. We can't really complain about it. As an electric deck, I have to run electric Pokemon, and my Pokemon are all electric with the exception of one. It starts off with 2 Miraidon EX. First of all, let's appreciate the art, how pretty this card is. Why do I run Miraidon? Miraidon has a really nice ability called Tandem Unit. It basically allows you to search for your other electric Pokemon. I only run 2 because I don't feel the need to have the full bench right away. But if I do, I can always get the second one, try to find it with Miraidon's own ability, and fill up my bench that way. Miraidon is also a really good attacker. With his Photon Blaster, he can do 220 damage. And there are cards later on that can actually help out, increase that damage. So he's already a pretty good attacker on his own. So gotta give a shout out to the boy, Miraidon. Or girl, don't know, whatever it is. Then I run 3 Raikou Vs. Now I say Raikou, you can say Raikou, you can say however you want it. Pronunciation isn't really a factor here. Why do we run 3? That's the important part. First of all, Lightning Rondo is a really cheap attack, costing 2 energy cards. It's really easy to get the energies on this guy. 2 turns, you're ready to go. And the ability Fleet-Footed, when it's in the active spot, it lets you get a additional card from deck. That thing is amazing. It works so well. Sometimes that extra draw can just come in clutch, give you what you need. And it also helps out thin out your deck so you can see what you need more frequently than not. So that's why I have 3 Raikou Vs. They are extremely good monsters, extremely good Pokés, whatever you want to call them. They are amazing. So you can run 2 to 3. My personal choice is 3. Now we're going to go for the cutie card. It's Mareep. Look at it. It's running through a field. It's so happy to see you. It's fluffy. It's pretty. Mareep is just a good card overall. Why do we run Mareep? Because Mareep evolves. Mareep evolves into Fluffy, which is its stage 1. And Fluffy, it's got a really good ability. It's called Dynamotor. So let's say you use an Ultra Ball. Throw 2 energies in the discard pile. Those energies are not dead from play because Dynamotor, what it does is it allows you to put energies once per turn from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Dynamotor is a really great ability just to reuse those discarded energies, and so you can make it so whatever you throw away is not fully gone. It's still right there just waiting for you to be in play. I feel like Arceus approves. Then I play 2 Regieleki Vs because it's an easy Pokemon to get out. It's a basic. You can search it with an S-Ball. It's a good attacker and it evolves into Regieleki VMAX. Now with Regieleki VMAX, I only run the 1 because I don't want to depend on it that much. It does have a nice ability with Transistor, and I like the fact that Transistor can just increase your basic Pokemon attack by 30. So that makes Miraidon and Raikou way more powerful, and they can hit harder. So using the 1 Regieleki is good enough for me. If you want to add the 2, you can always... There's always some flex spots with the Pokemon themselves, so you can always run the 2. But your For me, what's been working is just the one Regieleki VMAX. Then I have Radiant Greninja. Radiant Greninja is really cool. Not only you see the shiny Pokemon, the ability Concealed Cards is very useful. You can dump an energy to the grave or to the discard pile. Sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh talk. And once it goes into the discard pile, you can draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. That allows you to see better cards faster, and it puts energies into your discard, which is what you want if you have a flat fee already in play. You want to see that so you can get your draw and still be able to set up your next Pokemon. Then we have Magnezone at 1. Magnezone is a really big flex spot for me. Why? It's something that came out because of necessity. Magnezone goes into Magnezone V-Star, and Magnezone V-Star allows me to hit Lost Box decks harder, because let's kind of face it, Lost Box is a deck that's been played heavily in the meta right now, and Magnezone V-Star can help me with his Electro Star get rid of some of the things that they need, so I don't die so quickly turn 1. I do have some Pokemon that are low HP. Actually, most of my Pokemon are low HP, and if I have them benched, a Sableye, I don't know, I want to say Kyogre, they're really good at taking out really strong Pokemon, so they could probably hit my bench hard. So what I want to do is I want to be able to hit their bench before they hit mine. And if they don't have the mana fee in play, even better. So that is the count for my Pokemon. I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I play 17 Pokemon in total. I like the count of 17. Somebody say it might be too little. Some might say it might be too much. For me, it's been working. So I like to keep it at 17. My trainers, supporters, item cards, tools, everything else. I play 2 Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders is a great card. It can win you the game when played properly, or it can help stall. Yes, it does take up your supporter for the turn, but you never feel like you wasted it, especially if you placed it well and played it at the right time or for the right Pokemon. Then I play Nest Balls at 3. Why 3 Nest Balls? Because I want to see that Radiant Greninja. I want to make sure that I can see my Miraidon. Miraidon is a card that this deck depends on quite heavily. So instead of playing the additional Miraidon, I'd rather play the additional Nest Ball, which can help me get to other flex spots, not just Miraidon, but Miraidon if need be. This card is basically the main way I try to attach energies is Electric Generator. I play this at 4. I want to max out on it. If I could play 10, I would play 10. But I want to see Electric Generator all the time. It lets me look at the top 5 cards on my deck. Then I can attach 2 energy cards that I find there. If I find any, that's why I play the 14 energies, because the more energies that I have in play, the higher the chances are that I can find them, and the higher the chances are that I can set up my bench faster. This whole deck is meant to hit your opponent hard and hit him fast. You want to make sure that you can always attack on the first turn, and that's why I have the ratios that I have. I've been able to, if my opponent is not careful and they only play the one Pokemon, I've been able to actually take some games online where they had the one Pokemon. I was able to build my board quickly enough, hit them hard, taken out theirs, and won the game. They didn't have any more. So there's some easy wins here and there. It just depends on what type of hands you see. Then I have the Forest Seal Stone. I only want to have 2 V-Star powers. One is the Magnezone, and the other one is the Forest Seal Stone. And I use them accordingly to what I'm playing. You have to be adaptable in this game, and that's what's kind of fun of it, because there are certain decks you can play that you need to see a certain card, and if you are willing to go for the long haul and grind it out, then I say play the Forest Seal Stone. It can save you quite a bit of times. If not, if your choice is to pump out some damage as quickly as possible, you can go for the Magnezone. It just depends on what you need. Forest Seal Stone is a great card, and if for a deck like this, doesn't really depend too much on B-Star powers. It really helps. It gets to your hand the card that you need. Never a waste, everybody. If I could run this at 5, I'll run it at 5. Then, Worker. Why the Worker? That's a good question, everybody. So Worker is a draw 3 and a discard stadium. A lot of people tend to play Path to the Peak or Collapse Stadium. Collapse Stadium hurts me because it reduces the damage on my Reiko V. If I have a full board and my opponent has a full board, then it can do the max damage, which would be 220, I think. But if I don't have that, that takes away 40 damage from me. And sometimes I need that extra 40 damage just to get over certain Pokemon, especially if you're playing like a mirror match or something like that. So it's like, to me, it doesn't help. Then Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak is just annoying. It takes away all your abilities. It doesn't let you play. I need my Rackles to go through. I need my concealed cards to go through. And if I can't do any of that, it kind of slows down the gameplay. It's kind of annoying. So if I can get rid of it with my own Worker and draw 3 cards at the same time, works perfectly fine by me. Then I have 1 Bravery Charm. Why only 1? Well, long story short, my Pokemon are weak. They can only take so much damage, but if I can use the 1 Bravery Charm just to up the damage a little bit, help them last 1 more turn, then it's definitely worth it. I don't want to play 2 because I want to have other cards in deck. So I thought I'd try the 1. The 1's been working for me, so I've been keeping it at 1. If you want to up it, more than welcome to try. Let me know if it works for you. Then I have Serena. I don't know if you can see it properly. Let me move it to the side over here. So Serena is a really good card. It gives you 2 options. One is similar to Boss's Orders, but for Pokemon V, where you can choose 1 from your opponent's bench, put it to the active spot, just prepare yourself for that attack or, that stall. Or the other one is you can discard 3 cards from your hand, and then you can draw until you have 5. Either way, it's a win-win situation for you. Serena is a really good card for me. Online, I don't have it, so I haven't played much online, but whenever I play against real people, it's worked fantastic. So Serena, for me, is a must-have, not only because, like I said, it's the Boss's Orders, but it also gives me the option to draw. Then, this is one of the new best cards of the whole format, Iono. I only played it at 2. Why? Because Iono is just that great and expensive. No, Iono is a good card. Honestly, it's better than good. It's, I think I said in one of my videos before, this is going to be the #1 card that everybody's going to be slotting in and playing, and that is completely true. It's a card that can help you reset your hand if you didn't draw well enough, or it's a card that can just punish your opponent if they're beating you. I was playing online today. My opponent had, 1 price card left to pick up to win. I managed to play Iono against them, give them the 1 card. I resetted my hand, was able to go full ham, prepare, start taking out their key pieces. I ended up winning because they conceded. So Iono got me that win. Such a great card. Cannot fully recommend enough. Buy as many copies as you can. Iono's amazing. I play 2 beach courts. Why 2 beach courts? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, because it makes it so it gives less retreat cost to your Pokemon, to your basics. If you notice, a lot of my Pokemon are basics and they have a retreat cost of 1. Meaning that if I have the beach court in play, I can just continue to swap in and out. And if I have more than 1 Raikou, I can activate Fleet-Footed more than once. So honestly, that's the only reason. I'm a greedy person. I want to be able to draw from my deck as much as possible, get those cards to my hand so I can have those options to use later. I play 2 Professor's Research. Yes, it's the professor from my game, from Scarlet, and Professor Oak, because look at him, he's just so wonderful. You might have seen him being opened up in one of the previous videos. Professor Oak is just a classic OG professor. Loved him since. Give me my first Squirtle. Yes, I picked Squirtle in Pokemon Red. So sue me. But yeah, sometimes your hand sucks. Sometimes you have 1 card in hand that you don't mind losing. Sometimes it's all energy cards. Perfectly fine. As long as you have Professor's Research in hand, you can just reset your hand, get those draws in, thin out your deck. That's always very, very needed. Then I play 2 Escape Ropes. Escape ropes are an easy switch out. If your opponent only has the one Pokemon, that's when I tend to use it. If they have more than one Pokemon and I know they're going to pick something that I don't want to see at the front, then I tend to just kind of discard it or not use it at all, unless I really, really have to. Or have the escape rope and a boss's orders in hand or Serena in hand, and I can just make sure that the target that I want is the one that comes up. But aside from that, if my opponent sometimes feels like, oh, let me put a Pokemon up there that is going to cost them an energy or they won't be able to retreat, having an escape rope in hand is a really good option. Then I play 2 Ultra Balls. It gets me cards in the discard pile, and it gets the Pokemon that I need to my hand. I really like that. I don't mind sacrificing, especially if it's energies, because like I said, Fluffy can bring them back. So Ultra Ball cost sometimes isn't as heavy. It also gets rid of cards from your hand. So, you know, win-win situation. Then I have the one, the only, the boy, Arven. Arven is a fantastic card for this deck. Not only does it get you an item, it gets you an equip card, which is in the form of a tool. It's an amazing card. So many times have I been able to pick up a electric generator and, I don't know, something like a choice belt, up my damage, or the electric generator and the Forest Seal Stone, and be able to pick up another electric generator that way, just to kind of make my board as fast as possible, get my Pokemon ready, and get that attack going. So Arven for that, amazing. Great card. I play 2 switches because, like I said, sometimes your opponent will put a Pokemon in the front that you don't have the ability to retreat as easily. And if you don't want to waste the energy or take the energy off because you don't have a Fluffy or whatever the reason, Switch is a great card. Switch also lets me switch out. Let's say I have Raikou V and I have 2 on the bench. I can actually, and I have Beach Court or something, I can actually do Fleet-Footed 3 times, get those additional 3 cards, end or try to end on the Raikou that's already ready for attack. So Switch is a great card, allows you to draw more. Last card is Choice Belt. Not much to say. Choice Belt ups the power of moves by 30 against Pokemon Bees. You only need it against Pokemon Bees. Let's be honest, Pokemon Bees or EXs are the ones that have the most HP and you need to hit hard. So Choice Belt works against the Bees. I still haven't found a way of getting rid of EXs that easily, but that's why I have other choices like my Regieleki VMAX, just continuous, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, just continuous damage. You want to make sure you always deal as much damage as you can. Like I said, this deck is about hitting hard and hitting fast. If you can do that, you'll have a good time winning. If you can't do that, if you can't set up quick enough, then you're probably going to lose, and that's okay because you learned. In the meantime, everybody, this has been my deck list of my electric deck. I know Radiant Greninja ended up being on top, so it might not look super electric there, but that's how I like to play it. Let me know in the comments down below if you want another type of deck list. I also have Mew. I have my own version of Gardevoir, and I'm working on a United Wings one, which will be kind of interesting. But subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Arceus demands it. And remember, we'll see you next Saturday at 7. Let's make it a good day, everybody. Bye.